Hello, folks. Want to take another look at the bigger picture for some market possibilities. So, looking at the bigger picture, I want to take a look at the monthly chart, the Dow Jones futures. I want to point out something here. Looking at the bigger picture, we had a nice little rally off the lows back from June to where we are now. But could that have been just a strong bear market rally setting up for the next leg down? Remember, I told you that markets move in bear markets and bull markets, they move in cycles, and a lot of times these cycles tend to repeat themselves. And then with the with most strong bear markets or bull markets, you'll see similar patterns, similar to what a lot of folks call ABCD pattern. Could we be in the midst of one of those patterns now, looking at the bigger picture? Take a look at where price action retreated from as we entered into this bear market at the beginning of this year. Looking at this Dow Jones E-minis charts, you'll see that, and I'm gonna highlight some possible pivot points. Pivot point there at the beginning of the year when price action made it up to 36,832, then we pulled back. Then we have a pivot point where price action made it back down on a monthly chart to the 50-day moving average, precisely. Then we got a little bounce, it's just a little bounce. And look what's happening now. Looks like we're starting to pivot. And what I pretty much did in order to determine where we could possibly be headed back next, nothing is carving a storm, where we could be possibly headed next, is that after this little rally, I just duplicated this move here. Oh, sorry about that. I just duplicated this move here because cycles tend to repeat themselves. This move here from the highs of this year down to the lows of June. And I just took this measurement and just moved it right over here, which is pretty much the same length. And that could possibly be our next path before we see a possible short-term rally again. So we could be in this next phase down, possibly for the next couple of months. Let's see how that pans out. But what I did after I actually mapped that out and drew that measurement, and let's clear this. After I mapped it out and drew that measurement, I went right behind that and I drew a fib retracement tool. So from the lows of 2020 to the highs of 2022, if this move pans out this way, that would be almost an exact 50% retracement between the lows of 2020 and the highs of 2022, which is very, very well possible. That will fall right in line with the Fibonacci retracement tool, and it will take us right back to a round trip 50% retracement between the lows of 2020 and the highs of 2022, which we could possibly see a bounce from that level. So that is something to aim for, something to keep an eye on, which is around my possibilities. Right here is the 50% Fibonacci retracement level between the highs of this year and the lows of 2020. Could we be headed back to this level before we see our next bounce? That could be. Very much well possible. Wanted to throw that out there for you guys, just to give you guys something else to look at. Again, like I said, cycles repeat themselves, and normally the distance from the previous down move in a bear market could see that same type of down move after we had a nice little bear market rally. So that's something to keep in mind, something to pay close attention to. All right, folks, wanted to point that out in a longer term chart, and again, enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. If I see anything else that looks interesting, I will bring it your way.